Sounds good.
Hi, everybody. Here's my buddy Dave Small Engines on YouTube. Dave's visited my shop quite a few times this summer. He's recognized me from YouTube. I'm putting out this video with him. It's going to be a completely natural video, not scripted. It's going to be different than what you're used to seeing with me. You're going to see a more natural side of me. Um, I'm trying to help Dave with his small engine repair. He does it as a hobby. What he's got here today, as you can see here, he's got a 3120K cutoff saw Husqvarna.
Yeah. So I got this a few months ago. Bit of a project,
Yeah,
and it wasn't running. The exhaust studs had been cut off. Kind of. Yeah.
a lot of
So
work.
it was a mess, and I said, yeah, you know what? For the price, I'll take it and see if I can get it to run. So, but before we get into all that, I think I just want to say thanks to you for
You're welcome.
those that I've watched of yours. I certainly wouldn't have been as successful in my little side hobby here as I am if I didn't have those
That's
videos.
great.
Um,
So I'll just interject here. So what we're going to be doing in the video today, guys, everybody that's watching, Dave's going to tell me some of the symptoms. I'm going to give him ideas of things to do right now in the video.
yep.
And we're going to diagnose this thing. Dave is pretty good with small engines as well, even though he does it for a hobby. So he's going to tell you what he's doing as he goes.
Yeah.
If he gets bogged down, I'm just going to shoot him off some tips here. And
Cool.
you guys are going to get some awesome tips if you keep watching. So
That's good.
so what have you
So,
done to this saw yet, Dave?
do you want me to move it a little closer so I can just kind of...
Sure, yeah. Just show us here.
Good. Still getting used to this whole recording thing here, Don. But
Yeah.
so this saw, so it was running the other day, and
Yeah.
then in this case, I had taken the carb apart, put a brand new carburetor
Yeah.
kit in it, ran it through the ultrasonic cleaner, and it was working. I mean, I reset the low needle and the idle to where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Throttle's actuating, but for some reason, after I put all the cases and everything back on, it just stopped working. So first thing I checked, obviously, it's full of gas,
Yes.
fresh one gas.
Yeah.
It gets late sometimes at night, and you wonder why things won't start, but it's
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I
forgot.
know what you mean.
Yeah. So here, actually, I want to be able to explain this better. How's that?
How
There?
does the compression feel on that saw?
So pretty good. It's it got this release valve in it, right? So for the pressure, release.
Yeah.
This is a big engine. This is
Oh, it's
100.
huge.
Yeah.
How many
It's like
cc's, Dave?
when you pull it over with the relief valve, it's a bit easier.
Yeah.
So in my head, I know I need what, Don? I need fuel, compression, and spark.
Exactly. That's what you need for an engine to run.
Right. And then obviously an unrestricted airflow into the
Yeah.
carburetor.
Exactly.
So I'm just stumped because I got it all back together.
Yeah.
Parts, I had it running like this without like the shroud and the casing and everything on.
Yeah,
it.
just don't run it too long without the shroud on.
I've done something
Yeah.
in the process of reassembling it for it not to run. So I was thinking, obviously with your recommendation, check for spark, so
Yeah.
I know the ignition system's good. Then I was going to check the compression because if something happened or a ring got stuck or something like that, it might not have enough compression.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? First thing to do that's easy, check the spark.
Check spark. Okay. So
And
the spark.
for the audience here, just turn your lights off.
Sorry, Trip.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, when you pull it over, it'll just be easier for everybody watching here.
Sure. Let me know if you can see it. I can probably move the camera in if I need to a little bit more.
Yeah, or try to point it near, yeah, so we can see it. Yeah, that should be good, Dave.
Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see it, but if you want to bring the camera, if you want to bring it closer,
Move it a bit closer.
sure.
Looks pretty strong to me from where I'm at. But,
Yeah, I think, yeah, I don't think that's the problem.
Okay.
But you know, it's always good to just eliminate that doubt. Yeah, that's really good, Dave. Yeah, that's good.
Strong spark, I'd say.
Yeah. Now what you could do is spray some gas in the carb.
Okay.
The compression feels good, you said, eh?
Yeah, but I've got the compression tester out here. I was just going to double check it.
Might as well. You know what? Might as well do it.
Okay.
Just plug your tester in.
So right now it's obviously reset to 0.
Exactly. So everybody watching here, you would like to get at least over 140 plus, over 150. Anything above that's a bonus. If you're under 100 psi with a 2-stroke engine, it will not run properly most of the time.
Okay, so now question for you.
Yeah.
If it's a larger engine,
Yeah.
for like a trimmer or a chainsaw, will that mean the compression is lower?
Not really, no.
Okay.
That's a good question. You know what? I hardly ever get asked that.
Okay. Okay, so throttle locked on, right?
Yeah. Basically, when you do a compression test, guys, you want the throttle wide open.
Okay.
You know, your switch off, obviously, and just pull it over, like at least about 10 times.
Okay.
Make sure your decompressor valve is off, pulled out.
Now, this thing so much kick because it's such a big engine.
It is.
I can't hold the throttle. I have to hold it with my foot.
That's good. Yeah, or just lock it in with the trigger lock.
Yeah, so I've got it locked on.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Look at that.
Wow. You need to put a snowblower handle on there, Dave.
Let's
You know the mitten handle?
Let's see if I can still pull it.
See.
Well, Don, I'll tell you right now, I bet you it's got good compression.
Yeah, I don't think it's the problem, but
Yikes.
how many pulls was that? Just 5?
That was only 5 pulls, and I'm at 140 psi right now.
Yeah, give it a few more shots. We'll see if it goes up.
I don't know if I can hang on to this thing.
Bit hard on the hand, eh?
So hard on the hand. Yeah, I don't know.
Holy man. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just take the tester out, put the plug in, spray gas in the carb, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and out on a limb and say that's got pretty good compression.
Yeah. Like usually, Dave, when you buy 2-cycle equipment that's been sitting, you told me it was sitting for a while, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so usually what happens is basically, you know, carb kit, fuel lines, like all the rubber parts, they usually deteriorate. But
okay.
I think, did you say earlier you put a carb kit in there?
Yes, brand new carb kit. It's a Walbro HD carb. You know what I'm going to do, Don, because my hands pain right now.
Yeah, I guess.
I've got another handle here.
You want to put that on?
I'm just going to switch it quick. Yeah, so I have another similar style handle here. Seems to be about the same size. Have you ever had that happen where the size
Oh yeah. That's why, you know, I'm recommending that you put a better handle. I'll just grab one in the shop here, and I'll be right back to show everybody.
I'm going to cut it close to the top, Don, just because I don't want to lose the string.
Yeah, if it gets too short, it pulls on the rope rotor. So have a look here, Dave.
Okay.
You know, snowblower handle like this, starter handle.
Oh, wow.
You just put your hand in there.
Okay.
Okay. If you can find one in your area, just do that. Put that on. You'll find that much easier.
What I don't want to do is lose the recoil down into the.
Yeah. Don't let it get back in there.
So how many knots do you need to do on the top of this thing?
I usually do at least 2.
At least 2. Do you ever use the washers here?
Washers?
Yeah. So there's some.
Yeah, if you have some, but it all depends how big the hole is in the handle. If they got a huge hole, then I usually put a washer, but you're probably going to switch that handle later on, so just expedite it for the video. Just, you know, a couple knots, and
Okay.
it'll be good for today.
Sounds good. Hard working in gloves here. It's cold.
I guess. And it's easier if you melt the end of your rope too.
Yes, trick actually. See how the lighter that works.
Yeah. Just make sure there's no gas.
Yes, be careful with that.
It's amazing you can do that with your gloves.
Oh yeah, I'm taking them off, buddy. I can't do it anymore. So there's this little nice grommet here. Yeah, but I'll just do a couple knots just for the sake of the video here.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So I got that handle popped out. Hopefully it doesn't just pop out the first time I do it, but yeah, I guess I'm on to the next step here, Don.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Here's a quick question. Has the saw ever backfired on you at some point?
I don't know if I'd necessarily call it like a big backfire, but yeah, like a little bit of a sputter or kind of like a off.
Like a kick in your hand?
What's that?
You know when you're pulling it, did it ever like kick out of your hand? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's happened.
Okay, so no matter what we figure out here,
Yep.
at some point, it doesn't take much time, and it costs nothing. Just take the flywheel nut at some point to make sure.
Under here, eh?
Yeah. You take the recoil off, take the flywheel nut off, and make sure that the key on the flywheel is matching with the keyway on the crankshaft.
Right, or else it'd be out of right. Okay.
No matter what the diagnosis is going to be, I would check it anyway just to make sure. Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Okay, so what?
Next step, put some gas in there, mixed gas.
Okay, so I have a little squirt bottle for this exact thing.
Yeah.
Mix 3 to 1. How do you want me to put in the spark plug hole?
I do it in the carb.
Okay.
Where the air filter goes there, just spray it in there.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so just
a few shots, yeah.
Few shots in there. Okay. Looks like it's gone in.
And just pull her over, see what happens.
Okay, so choke on or off? What do we think?
You know what? You can leave it off.
Okay.
Now, if it starts and dies, we know we have good quality spark and we have good compression.
Okay.
Let's see.
So compression's bad, right?
If compression was bad, it won't even fire up. You won't get anything.
Okay, so relief valve in.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that I know that I've got some fuel in the carburetor, I know the air going in here, obviously, because there's nothing obstructing it, and I know I have spark.
Yeah.
It should fire up, right?
It should. Okay,
so
it should burn
the choke on or off? You said?
You know what? Leave it off.
Off?
Leave it off.
Off?
It should burn what you've sprayed in there.
Okay, so I've got the throttle locked on.
Sure. Why not?
It is on. So it should go, right?
It should go, and you've got gas in the tank?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so just pull her over, man.
Okay. Oh, jeez, I forgot to put the relief valve in.
Yeah.
Oh, you do that?
Yeah, little sputter there. Okay, Dave, since it did that, give it one more spray.
Okay.
And put the choke on.
Okay.
And what are your screws set at?
Just the factory. So there is no high-speed screw on this carburetor. There's an actual jet.
Okay.
But the low speed is at 1.5.
Okay, yeah, 1.5's good. So anybody watching today, if you're adjusting 2-cycle carburetors, good starting point is a 1.5 turn out. If you're working on pull-in chainsaws, sometimes they need 2 turns out, but 1.5 turn out on professional equipment is the right starting point. Okay.
This setup here isn't much different than a chainsaw, right?
It's pretty well the same.
Okay. So we've got a squirt, 2 squirts in here.
Okay.
And
choke on.
What are we testing for here?
Well, what we're trying to do, Dave, is basically you sprayed gas earlier. It started up and it burnt it out. Okay, so I want to see with the choke on if it's going to suck that gas from the gas tank. Okay, so maybe it was too cold earlier and it just kind of died off.
So we're trying to determine if the issue is now carburetor related.
It kind of seems like it is. So we're just going to do this final thing here, and it'll give me a good idea of what's going on.
Throttle locked on?
Sure. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
It's kind of sputtering there on the end.
Yeah, I heard that. You might want to put the choke off. It might be a little flooded with all that gas.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so what I think's going on, Dave, it's definitely, I'm 100% sure it's a fuel issue. There's no doubt in my mind.
Okay.
You know, it's always harder for me to diagnose stuff when I'm not physically there.
Yeah.
Okay, you've put a new card kit. The saw's been sitting for probably who knows how many years.
Yep.
So
it's old.
Exactly. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give you some homework.
Okay.
or your prescription from the doctor is to take the carb apart again, okay, Dave?
Okay, again.
Because, you know, I have to admit, you know, even I've made mistakes putting carbs back together. Sometimes the demetering lever is not adjusted properly.
Yep.
So in this case, if the metering lever was sunk down too low in the carb, the needle valve wouldn't open. So that could be an issue.
Okay.
But like I mentioned previously in the video, is stuff that's been sitting, all the rubber parts are going to start deteriorating, whether there's gas in the equipment or not. So your homework is basically take the carb apart again.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure no dirt got in there again. That everything's put on right. Everything like that. Check the metering lever.
Yeah.
One main thing that I really want you to check is the fuel line.
Okay.
Okay, because again, it's a rubber part.
Yeah. So
machine's been sitting for years. Want to make sure that's not cracked or, you know, because sometimes you buy stuff that's been sitting.
Yep.
And you get it running with a card kit. Okay. It runs good, and then you go back the next day and there's issues, and that's because after it ran for a while, you know, either the vibration or a bit of gas going through has just kind of made those rubber parts give out. So check that. I also want you to don't forget to check the flywheel key to make sure it's lining up with the keyway on the shaft.
Yep. Now, do you want me to kind of like record?
Yeah, because we're going to do this in part 2. So anybody watching today, come back for part 2. You will see if Dave's saw will run or not. Go ahead.
I don't think it's right.
What's this?
I don't think it's a goner. I think it's worth fixing for sure.
Oh yeah, I could tell just by the way you were pulling the compression. So we'll start there. Worst case scenario is, you know, you could have a bad fuel line. The crank seals could be bad.
Oh, okay.
Because you know, again, there's a rubber part in there. And I'll recommend that you use an OEM card kit in there.
Yes, of course.
If you can, you know. Some aftermarket kits are good, but, you know, because I do stuff for other people, I prefer the OEM kits.
Right.
They seem to last longer. So.
Okay. Yep. All good in there.
Yeah. So if you can do that, we're going to come back in part 2 very soon here, and we'll see what's happening to your saw.
Okay, awesome. So
we're going to get it going.
That's a good start, I think, Don. Thanks so much for your time.
It is. Nice having you, Dave. And thanks to everybody watching today. Comment below as to what you'd like to see Dave and I show you guys in these videos. We're going right down to the basics here. Right down to the basics. Remember, Anybody watching, no question is a dumb question. Do not feel embarrassed to ask anything whatsoever.
Because if they've had a problem, you've probably had it before too, right?
Hey, we've all started somewhere, and I like teaching people. Like that's why I'm on YouTube. That's why I'm on YouTube. So okay, check out Dave's YouTube channel, Dave Small Engines, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
Awesome. Take care, Don.
Okay, bye.